Well, it's great to be with you again and have the opportunity to talk with you in kind of these midweek devotionals. This is probably the last one of these we'll do, at least maybe for some time. But I appreciate you all taking the time to watch them. You've given me some kind feedback about them. So thank you. It's just kind of another way for us to keep in contact with you as we're kind of God's scattered flock at this time. We're planning on gathering back on May 24th. Again, you can get online our website and kind of see how things are going to be. We won't have nursery that week, and it won't have ABF, so it'll be kind of a little bit of a scaled back approach. But anyway, it'll kind of get us started. We'll kind of have a running start, and hopefully by June we'll be able to have ABF's meeting and have nursery and childcare meeting and all those kinds of things. But we thank you with your patience with us for this and for watching a live stream online and just for all the encouraging feedback you're giving to us. We really appreciate it very much. And what I want to do just for a few minutes here today is talk to you about mothers. This coming Sunday's Mother's Day, and I'm going to really miss out on not doing baby dedication. We've done that for so many years at our church on Mother's Day, but hopefully we'll be able to do that soon in the days ahead. But I've been thinking about mothers, and I've been thinking about my own mother and my parents. And, as all of us think about our lives, certainly in my life, the important relationship I have with my wife, Cheryl. We will have been married 34 years coming up here in early June. I think about my children, my grandchildren, but all of us ultimately go back to our relationship with our parents because it's our parents who really lay the foundation of our life. They set the course for our life. They shape our life and our personality really in indelible ways. And I'm thankful for a lot of things, but the thing I'm probably most thankful for other than my salvation really is my parents. Because again, they really set the course and the trajectory of my life. I'm grateful to them. And with it being Mother's Day, I'm especially grateful for my mother, Carolyn. And what I thought I would do is just mention to you, to the mothers out there, 4 things from my mother's life I think that you could emulate. And again, I don't say this to put a guilt trip on anybody. I know with mothers right now, it's probably more difficult than it's ever been. A lot of you that have kids at home, there's all kinds, you're having to be the teacher and the mother and the counselor and all kinds of things. This has been a very trying time, I know, for you. But I want to just give you some encouragement. I mentioned these 4 things. I'll focus on the last one, but 4 things that my mother provided for me that maybe you could emulate. The first one's just simply time. My mother spent a lot of time with us when we were children. She taught me to read, which really, when I got to school, gave me a lot of confidence. She spent time reading books with me, but also reading the Bible and talking about spiritual things. And she was always there when I got home from school. And again, if you can't do that for your children, I'm not trying to say you have to do that, but it was a great help to me and a great comfort as a child. Every day when I got home from the bus, my mom was there. We had time together, and so she took time to spend with us. And my mother valued people over things. And I think that's very important. Some people in our culture today, I think it's easy to value stuff and things over people. But my mom valued people over things, and she still does. And that's been a great example and a model to me. The second thing I would say is as much as you can, seek to be balanced in your life and to be stable and calm, and not to overreact about everything, because your children are getting their cues from you. And when you overreact and you're unbalanced and you kind of go off on things, it's going to cause them to have those same kinds of responses. And again, there's a time to react strongly to certain things if they're wrong. But my mom was very balanced and stable and calm in our family, and had a great impact on me. It gave a real sense of stability and security in our home. Another thing I would say is about my mother, she's a great listener. She still is today. She's someone I can call anytime and talk to, and she'll listen and not always jump the gun to try to give you a bunch of advice real quickly, but she'll hear out what you're saying, and sometimes doesn't really try to give any advice at all, but will just be a listening ear. And children and grandchildren need someone to listen to them. And so I'd encourage you as a mother, or maybe as a grandmother, maybe a great-grandmother, to take time to spend with your children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren and just listen to them. Don't always feel like you have to give advice or have to give them some great word of wisdom. Certainly there are times when it's appropriate to do that, but just to take time to be a good listener. My mom's always done that, and that's been a great blessing to me, and I know it has been to my brother and to my sister as well. And then the final thing that I would mention is just to be an encouragement. We live in a world that's very discouraging in many ways today. A lot of people out there that are downcast and depressed, even in despair. And I think one of the most important things that we can do today in our culture as believers is be encouraging to people. And I think that's especially important in our families. Now, there's a verse I want to kind of leave you with. It's Isaiah 66, verse 13. And it's speaking here about a characteristic of God. And it says, as one whom his mother comforts, so I will comfort you. Now, this is beautiful here. God is actually saying that I want you to know that the way I comfort you is the way you're comforted by a mother. He actually uses a mother as an example of what he does in bringing comfort and bringing encouragement. And I would say of all the characteristics and the trait that my mother has that I've appreciated the most is she's a great encourager. And that's a gift I think that she has that God's given to her. And we don't all have that to the same degree. But I think every day to think about how to be an encouragement, husbands and wives to one another, but also mothers to their children and husbands and fathers to their children as well. That's something that's greatly needed. So to be intentional about this, to be purposeful, to think of ways to be an encouragement to your children and to your grandchildren. They need it. And they may not act at the time like it's a big deal, but I can assure you that over time, as you're an encouragement to them, they'll seek you out. They'll desire to be with you because they know that when they're with you, they're going to hear something that's encouraging. Again, that doesn't mean we can't say negative things. And certainly if you're a mom, you need to bring correction and instruction. But with all of that, a spirit there of encouragement in the family. So I hope these things will be helpful. I know a lot of us are facing some difficult times, maybe in our families and our homes these days. But again, to give your children time and to be balanced and stable and not overreacting to situations, to be a great listener and to be someone who encourages your family. And again, as one whom his mother comforts, God says, that's how I'm going to comfort you. So let's be those kind of parents. And if you're a mother, may God help you to be that kind of mother in these times in which we live.